Yeah, I've been proposing for a while that the Lakers do a deal with Houston. Houston happens to be in a very similar position as Orlando, except advanced, right? I mean, as a number 2 seed in the West, they are leagues ahead of Orlando in a sense. They have no use for that number 10 pick. Well, they got a use for it in terms that it's an asset. It's a great asset. But if I was the Lakers, I would trade Austin Reaves in the 2031 first round pick to Houston for Jalen Green, the number 10 pick, and a second round pick between 31 and, 40. Houston, as far as I know, they don't have a second round pick. So I would ask them to go procure a second round pick. I would also consider something involving Reed Shepherd. Now, a lot of you may be saying Reed Shepherd didn't get off the bench. Reed Shepherd was a number 3 pick in the draft. And a lot of people thought that he should have gone higher than number 3. The dude is an asset. And if I'm going to make that trade with Houston, I'm getting back assets. That's where the Lakers are poor. They are asset poor. So why would I want Jalen Green? Because Jalen Green complements Luka and LeBron better than Austin Reaves. And I know Austin Reaves came up in the system, but Austin Reaves is not an alpha. If you're going to be playing next to Luka, you need to be an alpha. Look at it like this. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, right? It took a very particular type of player to play next to Michael Jordan and to complement Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was not going anywhere. Through the 80s, from 84 to 91, Michael Jordan did not make the finals. It took a very unique kind of player to play next to Michael Jordan. And Scottie Pippen was an alpha, but he was a different kind of alpha. He was a Magic Johnson kind of alpha. He was not a Luka kind of alpha or a Michael Jordan kind of alpha. If you were to get a Luka next to Michael Jordan, one of those guys got to pull back. One of those guys has to give up some of his game in order for Jordan to be Jordan, right? It's very similar to when the Lakers got rid of Eddie Jones. They got rid of Eddie Jones wanting and knowing Kobe was going to come up through the system because Kobe is an alpha. Kobe could play next to Shaq because Kobe don't give a shit. I'm sorry, Kobe didn't give a shit. Kobe was going to be Kobe. And with Chicago, Scottie Pippen was going to be Scottie Pippen. And what was Scottie Pippen? He was a compliment to Michael Jordan, but the perfect compliment. Scottie Pippen ran that team. Jordan was a star, no doubt about it. Jordan was better than Pippen, but Pippen ran that team. And that's what the Lakers need. You look at who you got on your team. You got Luka and LeBron. You need someone who's going to perform as an alpha on that court. And because Rob Pelinka screwed off an entire offseason, I don't think the Lakers really have time to wait to see if Austin Reaves is going to be that complement to those two players. Now, I know that Jalen Green is going to get on the court and do what Jalen Green does. I know that. He's not going to pull back. He's going to go downhill with it. And that's what the Lakers need. As far as the number 10 pick goes, I got my eyes on this guy named Derek Queen. This dude is, I said it before, he's the one guy who popped off the screen during the tournament to me. Cooper Flagg didn't pop off the screen. I don't even know those cats on Rutgers. Dylan Harper, he ain't pop. None of those guys, man. I forget the tournament. Just throughout the course of the season. Now, I have seen games. I get it. I get the Cooper Flagg thing. I get it. I'm not saying this guy is better than Cooper Flagg. I'm just saying that as a young, in my opinion, he is a power forward. The dude jumps off the screen to me, man. And the reason why I'm up on a second round pick at the top of the second round, right, between 21 and 40 maybe, is because, man, there's some players out there that could really help the Lakers. The Lakers do not, look, if the Lakers are trying to go after Nick Claxton or Daniel Gafford, If they're chasing a 10 point per game, 7 rebound per game player, 12 point per game, 8 rebound per game player, you don't need to give up assets for that. You need to find the talent and you need to develop it. Right? The Lakers, there is a bunch of things that the Lakers could have in mind here that could really promote the team, could really build up the team. And it just requires, I'm telling you, man, it's off-court stuff. It requires Rob Pelinka to get up off his ass and do something. Be proactive, right? Have the best scouting department. And you, as a Laker general manager, you have to have the best scouting department, right? You have to have the best scouting department, and you have to ensure that the coach understands what his job is. And his job is to coach the team on the court, but also player development. In 82 games, you could get a player and coach him up to 10-7 Nick Claxton or 12-8 Daniel Gafford. You could do it. You just got to do it. You have to understand what your job is. You have to understand what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal is to win a title. It's not to win 50 games in the season. If you have your team playing playoff basketball or close to playoff basketball throughout the course of the regular season, you will win 50 games. The Lakers have a roster that will win 50 games if they do that. But you need to understand what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal is not 50-win season. It's not third seed in the West. The ultimate goal that will accomplish a 50-win season and a third seed in the West at least is to win the title and to win in the playoffs. And if the Lakers are on that, then they will find players and coach them up. Maxime Renaud is who I want in the second round. I would also like to have Amari Williams in the second round. We can't forget free agency either. And I keep talking about Tristan Vukcevic. If the Lakers could get Tristan Vukcevic, right, in addition to a Maxime Renaud or Clint Capella, he's serviceable. I understand that he is not the name the talking heads keep preaching, right? They keep preaching Nick Claxton, Daniel Gafford. That's what they keep preaching. But if you got Clint Capella and you put him in the starting lineup and you have the right pieces around so that Clint Capella could be Clint Capella, it's not a problem. Mind you, the Lakers won titles with AC Green. Old ass AC Green. AC Green from the Showtime Lakers. In 2000, they won a title with him starting at power forward. Because what did you need? Right? What did the team need? They needed a player to come in and play their position, play their part, be a star in their role. And when you got LeBron James and Luka Doncic, and let's say you bring in Jalen Green, you kind of need a couple other players just to play their part and to do it better than everybody else. That's all you need. You know? I mean, the Showtime Lakers weren't Trump tight from top to bottom as far as stars go. Byron Scott and AC Green just played their role, but they played their role to a T. And what I'm saying is that if JJ Redick coaches like that, then that is the best trade that the Lakers could make. Is to go and get Jalen Green, who will play downhill regardless of who's on the court. He's not pulling his game back so that Luka could shine. You give him the ball, he's going to do like this to Luka, and that's kind of what you need. And hopefully Luka grows to appreciate that. You know? But if you get Jalen Green, you get that number 10 pick, and in my opinion, you take Derek Queen. And again, JJ, you got 82 games to coach this dude up. Is he going to be as good in his rookie year as he is in his fifth year? No, he's not. But just because he's a rookie does not mean he can't play. Get off the stupid ass, simple-minded narratives and look at what you have. You do that, and the Lakers could return to glory a lot quicker than one might think. And I'll tell you something else too. Reed Shepherd, I've seen him play in spots. He could be a game buster, that kid. He has that kind of potential. He obviously needs an opportunity, right? I don't know that the Lakers organization is the right place for him. I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't know that the Lakers organization is the right place for any number 10 pick. If the pick was 1 through 3, then you know that the onus would be on JJ Redick to get that player some time. At number 10, I don't know that JJ Redick is going to take it that way. I don't know that he quite understands where he effed up last year. And, where you take a guy like Thibodeau, right? By the time the Knicks got to the last game or two against Indiana, he understood where he messed up and he went back and corrected his error. That's maturity. It is. It's maturity. You like to think that if you realize you mess up, correcting your error is understood. It's not. It's just not understood. When Rudy Gobert looked like a mix of Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Game 5, JJ Redick, after 5 minutes, should have turned to Jackson Hayes and said, "Oh, I get it now. Oh, I understand now. Hey, man, go suit up. You're coming in the game." He couldn't do that. A mature individual would have done that. JJ Redick couldn't do that. So I know JJ Redick is not going anywhere. I know he is the Lakers guy. They like him. I like him. But he has faults. And if he is not willing to correct those faults, there is no point in picking or trading for the number 10 pick right now. The Lakers need to win next year. Now, if the Lakers wanted to get that number 10 pick and parlay it into something else, that's one thing. But to get that pick and draft it knowing who the coach is, if that coach does not have a mandate from management, and that coach don't want to play that young player because he's a young player and he's a big man and he don't shoot threes, hey man, there's no point. Get that pick to parlay it into something else. But in my opinion, in terms of value, right, I'm trading Austin Reaves, 2031 first, for Jalen Green, number 10 pick, and a second round pick. I'm asking Houston to go procure a second round pick. Top half of the draft, top half of the second round. Top 5-10 picks in the second round. That's what I'm asking. And I'm going with that second round pick to go get Maxime Renaud, Amari Williams, and I'm also working hard as hell to find a big man or big men in free agency. The Lakers have put themselves in a position where they really have to work. They can't just keep trading assets. They really have to work. And if they're not willing to do that, then much of what anyone is saying, could include me in the talking head group, whatever any talking head is saying, it kind of is just in vain. It's lip service. They have to understand they have to work. I'll tell you one more thing about Jalen Green. Jalen Green, his trajectory is like this. Okay, I get it. He is a very niche type player. To get the fulfillment of his talent, it's not going to look like that for a minute. A lot of players, when they're younger, they just don't have much gravitas. They don't have much presence. When you look at Pippen when he was a rookie, he just did not take up much space, man. It was like he was just going to and fro, man, like the wind would knock him over type thing. And a lot of young players are like that. But Jalen Green is about to hit a place where he is not going to be that anymore. And I'm telling you, the Lakers need to get this cat for his upside. It's not necessarily for what he gives you as far as points. If he were to give the Lakers 17, he averaged 20 last year. If he gave the Lakers 17 next year, that might be okay. You know, it's just that I don't think he'll do that. I think that he's on pace to start averaging 25 points a game, and he has every. He is more than capable of being a great defender. He has the athleticism for it. You know, once he understands, he's going to get it. And he's still a kid, man. Once he becomes a man, the dude's going to be tough. You know, a lot of people don't like him. He's the expendable name that Houston has right now. But Lakers should go for him because he's just a better fit. So anyway, that's what I propose. I propose that the Lakers trade Austin Reaves to Houston, along with the 2031 first, for Jalen Green, the number 10 pick. Again, I want that number 10 pick to be Derek Queen, and a top pick in the second round. I would also be amenable to having Reed Shepherd. Yeah, I don't know what Houston thinks of him. I don't know if they want to spend any more time with that kid. It seems like they almost gave up on him. It just seems like they can't find a spot for him, you know. But if they want to trade that pick, that player, I would take Reed Shepherd just as an asset. Number 3 pick, take him as an asset. You know, I understand that there might have to be some other stuff that goes into the trade in order to make the numbers work. I get that. But, yeah, man, that's what the Lakers ought to do. And I hope, this is the other thing, man, before I end this video. Have targets. Don't trade picks just to trade picks. Especially a pick that's not a future pick. Don't go get the number 10 pick if you don't have a target. If you don't see anyone worth a shit at number 10, don't trade. Forget that trade. Blow that trade up. I got no problem with that. If you see no one worth a shit. If you see a player that you think, yo, man, this dude is going to drop to number 10, and that's who I think Derek Queen is. But, yo, this dude's going to drop to number 10. We could have him. We could use him next year. If you see that kid, go get him. Don't trade for a pick in the top of the second round if you don't have a target in mind. Ensure you get that target. You know, if you can't get that target, is there someone else that is amenable to what you want? Right? But have targets. Don't trade for names. Don't trade for trades in vain. Don't do that. Have targets. If the Lakers conduct their offseason like that, in addition to hustling in free agency, the Lakers got to find something in free agency. And, props to JSM and Laker Legacy, because those two are throwing out names. And they're finding names. And when I go and research some of these guys, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. I understand what they're saying. It's cats I've never heard of. The name that most people haven't heard of that I keep throwing out is Tristan Vukcevic. But that's the hustle part of it. The Lakers could be in a much better position than they think. They just have to be proactive and hustle, and then management and JJ Redick have to understand they have a role they have a role that's outside of just coaching. It's player development. And you have to have a goal. Your goal is not to win 50 games. The goal is not to be the number 3 seed. When you got the players the Lakers have, and especially the organization that is the Lakers, your goal has to be to win a title. And if your goal is to win a title, then you will develop your players. You will play an offense that coincides with what the playoffs are. And if you develop players, play a playoff style offense, and give a playoff style effort, you'll win 50 games. You'll at least be a number 3 seed. You got nothing to worry about. You got the talent. Okay? Anyway, that's this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll check you next time.